Yes!
Pokemon Gerard Gold, Jwitz Silver, and Crystal Kells.
Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of The Completionist. You know, I have a confession for you guys at home. I am what you would call a Gen 1er, or someone who never really moved past the first generation of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. But ever since we did Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow here on the show, everyone's been saying I need to move on to the next generation. So, with that said, I give you guys Generation 2, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver, and Pokemon Crystal. But, in case all you guys forgot, I bought a yellow shirt, Greg! It's like 25 bucks!
Can't take it back. Well, should I play the black version then?
There's no black version!
Black version in the original versions.
I'm gonna get some new competitors this time around. Yes, that means no Pokemon black version blue shirted Greg, and no Pikachu falling around Alex. This time around, we're gonna get two new people. But the question is, who? Who are gonna be my two guests? I've got it! Hey everyone, welcome to an exciting episode of The Dex. I'm Completionist Alex.
And I'm Pokékells. Wait, we're not doing a Dex episode. What's going on?
I don't know. Last thing I remember, I was waking up here and... Aha! So that's where you guys have been this whole time. Man, you guys are hard to meet up with. Now, I need some PokeTubers that are not Alex to help me in this awesome quest. I will take gold.
Wait, what are we doing?
It's a review competition kind of thing. Together you guys review the game and then afterwards you race to see who completes the game first with the best stats and time.
Oh yeah, I love Crystal.
Perfect, but we need one more person to tackle Pokemon Silver. I know just the guy.
Hey Nintendo fans, I'm Jwitz, and welcome to the newest Nintendo fact of the day. Today's fact is so scary, I peed my pants just editing the video, and I knew it was coming. 1 second, guys. Understood.
Pokemon Gold.
Pokemon Silver.
And Pokemon Crystal. As the second generation of Pokemon games, these games had a lot to prove to loyal fans of the first game.
While Gen 1 had a few problems, people were incredibly excited for Gen 2. What kind of Pokemon would there be? Would the story continue from the last game? Just how many Pokemon could they have added?
But Badman, DJ Witzel, and Electrode-based Kelly, Pokemon X and Y, you should have done Pokemon X and Y, Mega Sword Evolutions. My voice is trashed. As per usual for Pokemon episodes, we will stick to the traditional ways of doing it. So after the review is over, the stakes will rise. Either way, let's get started. Man, everybody's just gonna ignore me because I'm a little sick? Whatever. In a world filled with Pokemon, there are, well, more Pokemon this time around. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow took place in the Kanto region, featuring 151 Pokemon of all different colors, sizes, and shapes, and the story was straightforward. Catch all the Pokemon and train them to become the very best.
Well, yes, but with Gen 2, things changed quite a bit. For instance, we now have 251 Pokemon.
That mechanic is simply, excuse me? 251 Pokemon? They added another 100 Pokemon?
Let me remind the folks at home that we are currently in Gen 6, dealing with approximately 718 Pokemon.
718 Pokemon? How many bird and rat Pokemon can exist?
And even with that number, some of these Pokemon designs are just a bit... what's the word? Interesting?
That's a keychain. And it's an actual Pokemon. That's a Pokemon. That's the cutest Pokemon I've ever seen! From a plot standpoint, things have only changed a tiny bit. I say tiny because the core values of the game are still the same. Get the 8 badges, defeat the Elite Four, deal with your fair share of Team Rocket and your rival, and find all 251 Pokemon.
This little tiny bit of plot that Gerard is referring to is how the events unfold in this game. What starts out as a simple errand for Professor Elm in New Barktown ends up starting a rivalry that has you go up against a big thieving jerk the whole game. Professor Elm sends you to go speak with a man named Mr. Pokémon, whose house is just off of Route 30. Before you go on your quest, it's time to pick our starters. My username is Kelly, and I choose Chikorita because it's cute as a button.
This works out great because my name is Jwitz, and I love the water startup in this game, Totodile.
And I chose Linda as my name.
Linda?
Yeah, I streamed a lot of this game so the audience at home could see what I did, and they chose my character name, and my Pokemon's names, and even my rival's name.
Wait, your rival's name is Smasp? That's an acronym for the Super Mario All-Stars pack. Of course, your biggest rival.
I chose Cyndaquil because fire is awesome, and I wanted to try something different. As much as I love grass-type Pokemon, no one will take my heart like Bulbasaur has. Also, it's the last Pokemon left. So that's what you get when you are the last one to choose. The last one.
Upon your arrival at Mr. Pokemon's house, you meet him and Professor Oak from the first game. Mr. Pokemon hands over a Pokemon egg that you give to Professor Elm. Oak seems to trust you a lot and hands you a Pokédex, and everything seems to be going well until Elm informs you that someone has broken into his lab and forced Elm to hand over a Pokemon. A Pokemon starter that's strong against your type.
That's kind of exciting. What a cool way to raise the stakes. Not only is he your rival, but he did something wrong by stealing, which means he's really just a bad guy. But is he really? Along your journey, he shows up at various points, and when Team Rocket makes their spectacular return, he tries to take them down just as hard as you do. And in the end, he sort of ends up finding himself and apologizes for being so mean. Makes him seem much more deep than your rival Blue in the first game, who's just an arrogant jerk. Also known as Gary Oak, he's Gary Oak, don't kid yourself.
Wait, I played as Blue. Am I an arrogant jerk? I guess I kinda am.
Gen 2 games were marketed for almost a brand new portable console, the Game Boy Color.
Which is kind of ironic, because the fact we played these on a Super Game Boy, we actually ruined the original color palette of the game. It looks miles better on a Game Boy Color, or even a Game Boy Advance.
This really was the only legit way of capturing our actual personal cartridge footage. A Super Game Boy essentially is a Game Boy without a screen that you can use like a cartridge for your Super Nintendo.
Well, at least my footage looks correct. The Super Game Boy can't play Game Boy Color games, and Crystal was an exclusive Game Boy Color game. Better luck next time, Gerard.
Yeah.
Well, for what it's worth, we got quite a few changes visually, but at its core, it's the exact same game on the same engine. Once again, all three games have 3 different sprites for all 251 Pokemon. Subtlety at its best.
One of the new additions to the game is Real World Time. When you start your game, you set the clock to match the real time. Doing so then creates a shift in different Pokemon and rarity of Pokemon as well. Some Pokemon come out during the day, some only come out during the evening, and what's even cooler is that you can actually trigger events on certain days. So just as a dummy example, you could do X event by being in a certain place at Y time and day, and you can tell graphically how different it is because of the tone and color that was chosen, even on the Super Game Boy.
Other than that, the game does look pretty similar, but manages to somehow feel all fresh and brand new. Let's head over to gameplay and talk about all of the new additions.
In case some of you forgot how to play Pokemon, here's a really quick tutorial. Greg?
Take a Pokemon, battle another Pokemon, get it low, throw a ball, capture it, do a bunch more times, travel all over the region, fill the Pokédex, get the 8 badges, and then have a slice of cake just because you'll be hungry.
One of the core components of Pokemon is the battle system. Everyone quickly grew accustomed to what came out of Red, Blue, and Yellow, and with Gold, Silver, and Crystal, all they did was improve. So what was improved? Let's tackle it together.
The obvious first addition is the 100 Pokemon for a total of 251. Between the 3 of us, we will need to work together to trade across all 3 games to get the Pokemon. But Game Freak knew that people would have sentimental attachments to their previous games of Red, Blue, and Yellow. So naturally, you can transfer back and forth between both Generation 1 and 2. Pretty neat stuff.
Even though we got 100 different new Pokemon in the game, we've got not only new evolutions for new and old Pokemon, but we've got some pre-evolutions too. Game Freak also added 2 new types, Dark and Steel. 86 new moves were added, totaling 251 moves, and they also split the special stat into 2 different stats, Special Defense and Special Attack. They've added berries and items that Pokemon can hold during combat, and now there's genders between Pokemon. And breeding, you can breed them.
Oh man, so many things still going! You can carry so many more items, bigger bags across the board. You get Poke Gear, which comes equipped with maps and a radio. You even get a cell phone. Trainers you battle and defeat sometimes give you their phone numbers and ask you to battle their Rattata over and over and over again. Stupid Rattata. The game also introduces Pokerus, a virus that actually makes your Pokemon stronger.
But that's not all. There are even changes between Gold and Silver to Crystal. In Crystal, you can actually play as a girl, but for nostalgic reasons, I chose a boy anyway. Pokemon who are sent into battle have animation sprites. There's a Pokedex just for the Pokemon unknown because there are so many different forms of him. There is so much that we can get into with this.
Wow, you've got a lot more extra work to do than we do.
Yeah, but Pokemon rules!
By George, I think she's got it.
I think one of my favorite things of the plethora of new additions are shiny Pokemon. You have a very rare chance of getting a shiny Pokemon based on luck and number of battles. In the main story of the game, at some point, the legend of the Red Gyarados is alluded to. Its location is in the Lake of Rage way up north, and you can actually catch it.
Or you can just be a boss like me and get a shiny Crobat.
Whoa! A shiny Crobat?
Yep, a shiny Crobat.
I think you mean Two-Bat the Zubat.
What? No, I didn't say that at all.
Two-Bat the Zubat. Oh, I'm the king of the backstroke.
Too bad you still haven't evolved yet? What's the matter with you? Yeah, why don't you evolve, Too Bad?
But boss, I don't even know how to Digivolve.
Too bad, you freaking muck. You're an idiot. Digivolving is for Digimon, not Pokemon.
Yeah, he thinks he's a Digimon. Yeah, come on, Too Bad, get it together.
Come on, Two-Bat, get it together. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I just didn't know any better. I'm a... Hut-cha-cha, look at that one. Look at her.
Wowee, she's hot. She's a smoking hot Crobat. Hey, Toots, you wanna roll with the Golbat crew?
Sorry, I only roll with the coolest of the cool. And to me, you're all chumps.
Looks like you got razzed hard, boss.
Shut up, Steelix, before I turn you into a Twix!
Oh, hey, boss. Isn't Twix a candy bar?
Hey, that Zubat's kinda cute. What's your name?
Oh, I'm just Two-Bat. They call me that because I don't know why.
Too bad, you'll never be good enough for a bat like her.
Just go back to drinking your yoo-hoo and move on. Let the pros handle this.
So that's how it is, huh? Well, alright then. I'll roll with you, Two-Bat.
What?
That's right. I'm rolling with the Two-Bat crew now.
Looks like you got razzed again, boss.
No, you got Raz. Come here, I'm gonna throw you in a Master Ball.
Two-Bat the Zubat. Every dog has his chew toy day.
Like Red, Blue, and Yellow, the very last Pokemon in the Dex was an event Pokemon, Celebi. Getting a Celebi is darn near impossible because it's an event Pokemon that very few people legitimately have. But thank you to local fan and friend Kyle Van Amberg. He actually had one for us, making our completionist task achievable.
I got to admit, one of the biggest surprises I got from Gold and Silver was that when you finally make it to the end of the game, defeat the Elite Four, and the game is over, you find out actually the game is only half over. The older area from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow has now opened up, and there's 8 gym leaders to battle. Wow.
You think that's crazy? Try after doing all that stuff. Then you battle the secret boss known as Red. That's right! It's supposed to be the character from the previous game that you played as, and this level 81 Pikachu is no joke.
And of course, this wouldn't be a Pokemon game if you didn't get your certificate. Be sure to get your Game Boy printer, or just take a photo with your phone or something. I don't know.
Alright guys, we've talked about the changes, now it's time to get this competitive battle on. Let's do this! Yeah! How do I hit a dark type Pokemon? I don't really get. Do I throw rocks at him? I don't even. It doesn't make. Why can't I go inside this build? It's closed? The building's closed. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I can't go into the tower unless it's like open at the right time, but I I guess I could wait till tomorrow, but then I lose time playing the game.
I'm Jack in the Matrix right now. King, you want to play some more? I know you guys won't be using Mario to defeat it. Probably just gonna put some sound behind your eyes and make crazy faces. I might have messed up at some point and revealed that I'm not inside.
Can't figure out this stupid puzzle in Mount Silver, trying to find Joey. Joey's calling. Let me guess, Joey. You want to tell me about your top percentage-based Rattata, huh? Damn it, Joey! Just stop it! Ah!
Alright, let's see how we all did. After hours of slaving away, my final time was 163 hours and 22 minutes.
Not bad, Gerard, but unfortunately I beat you to the punch. I did what you did in way better time, starting off at 98 hours and 46 minutes.
Hey man, I'm the completionist, not the competitivist. Competitive, it's a word. Kels, how'd you do?
Well, considering I had a fair amount of things to do, I clocked in at 191 hours and 32 minutes.
Really?
Why?
Because I love Pokemon, like, a lot. Like, I love them so much, I just want to hug them all. And I just got lost playing the mini-games and breeding perfect specimens and making them all love me back with haircuts and stuff.
It's okay. We're not judging.
Yeah, we're sorry. We were just asking because that's a lot more time than we put in.
No, it's fine, I'm good. I just thought that Pokemon rules.
Pokemon does rule, Kels, and no one will forget that.
I gotta say, the most difficult thing for me on this journey was grasping how much the game had changed. I enjoyed a lot of these changes, but coming from being exclusively a Gen 1 player, I had a lot to learn, and it made my journey a bit difficult.
But needless to say, Gold, Silver, and Crystal are a lot of people's favorite generation, and the remakes of Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver are perfection. Really, we should have just started with that.
Yeah, but then we would have had to collect all the Pokemon across all the Dex generations up to 5.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm good.
Greg, you haven't caught the original 151 Pokemon since you were a kid. Get out of here.
Hey, come on, lay off me, man. I felt left out this episode. I mean, I'm just a little sick. I could have caught some weird-looking fish things and bird things and things that look like ice cream and stuff. I mean, come on, just cut me some slack, man.
While I, yes, admit defeat in this competition, playing Pokemon again reminded me how much fun it can really be. But for me personally, the number of Pokemon and the amount of things to do in the game kind of became too much at times. My fill of Pokemon definitely has been fulfilled, and I have no desire to start Gen 3 anytime soon, but I'll have to do it one day. With that in mind, guys, we give this game our completionist rating of Finna-Peed It.
Finna-Peed It. And after you finna-peed it, be sure to subscribe. Also check out our awesome guests on their channels. Check out Pokekales and Alex over at the National Dex, where they host a trivia and battle strategy show all about Pokemon. Click that on the left. And check out the awesomeness that comes from Jwitz with trivia and fun facts about Pokemon. Give them a click on the right. Back to you, Jiraka.
That's all the time we have for today, guys. So as always, leave your thoughts in the boxes below. A very big thank you to our guests, Jwitz from the Jwitz, who's a great Pokemon trivia guy, and Pokekales over at the National Dex, a Pokemon channel that I actually am the executive producer of. You guys have to go check it out. I've been on the show before. A lot of my friends who've been on the Completionist have been on the show before. Just go see it. If you like what we do, you love what they do. Now, if you excuse me, let's listen to Jwitz just beatbox, because it's pretty freaking cool. I mean, just take a look.
Play some gold and silver? How about some goldenrod? I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm your beatbox slave. It's like you do a collaboration, and they say you have to beatbox for us. Now, do it, monkey. Make the funny sounds with your mouth for us. Well, guess what? I don't have to do it. I can leave at any time, even right now, even though I'm not. I'm not using this as a convenient excuse for me running out of an idea of what kind of beat I was going to make. No, I'm just legitimately offended, and I'm leaving because I'm angry. That's what we're going to go with.